This movie tells a story about music superstars Kat Valdez and Bastian who are getting married before a global audience of fans. But when Valdez learns seconds before her vows that Bastian has been unfaithful, she decides to marry Charlie, a stranger in the crowd instead. First of all, this movie probably reminds you of Notting Hill with Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Both of these films feature superstars playing superstars, only as moon-eyed romantics and with all their sharp edges buffed off. This movie is completely outlandish and removed from reality. In terms of providing escapism in a romantic comedy, this movie sees no middle ground. It's a comic wish fulfillment fantasies in which famous women decide they can only find love with ordinary people. So in these cases, it's basically the wish fulfillment of every guy as well. The movie never deviates off the path you expect. It's going full in the fantasy element that so many romantic comedies toy with. The movie has utterly ludicrous premise and is full with the cliches of the genre. It's not really a product hoping to reinvent the wheel. You're likely prejudging this nonsensical premise as heavily as we were, and you're not wrong. It's truly absurd and requires an extreme level of suspension of disbelief from an audience. The idea of the most famous singer in the world marrying a total stranger who not only agrees to the insane proposal but also consents to carry on with the charade for several months is truly nonsensical. How they meet is borderline farcical. The movie is mishmash of scenes that lack credibility and coherency. There are a few scenes in the film during the middle act when they finally start talking like normal people about normal things. Unfortunately, everything else is so over the top and contrived with an emphasis on the plot points used to create tension between the pair. The movie has potential to go full satire. Unfortunately, the barbs are not sharp enough. While there is some joking about the excesses of celebrity, the film never dares to go bold to actually strip Valdez of her celebrity and riches. This film bizarrely seems to think social media can be a life-changing addition to someone's world and not an awful curse. The movie literally scatters the screen with Instagram stories every few scenes to highlight how Valdez's every move is documented by the press, her entourage, and a bevy of stalkerish fans. The cinematography occasionally switches to the grainy handheld POV of Valdez's personal videographer, who literally follows the singer's every move. That's more distracting than interesting. The Valdez character is also a problem. The movie is clearly trying to paint her as some feel sorry for me victim, but it's hard to feel that much sympathy who lives in a luxurious New York apartment surrounded by assistants and executives who are all portrayed as likable and reasonable people. The movie attempts to create humor fall flat as the majority of the jokes are just bland. Overall, this movie is another forgettable formulaic entry in a tired genre. It rarely steps outside the tried and true rom-com formula. It's a well-oiled studio romantic comedy that abides closely to the Hollywood template. We do not recommend this movie at all.